Okay, guys, I'm here to review WrestleMania 19, a actually good WrestleMania. WrestleMania 19 took place on March 30th, 2003, from Safeco Field in Seattle, Washington. This is the only time that WrestleMania has been in Seattle. So there are 9 matches on this card, so our maximum star rating is 45. Opening match, WWE Cruiserweight Championship match. Matt Hardy versus Rey Mysterio. An okay match for what it is, but I think it was a tad bit too short. So it's 1.5 stars of Matt Hardy winning. In a very cheap fashion, too. But this didn't lead to a rematch because at the next pay-per-view, Rey Mysterio is fighting the Big Show. So, didn't go nowhere. 1.5 stars. So then we get Undertaker versus Big Show and A-Train in a handicap match. It's supposed to be him and Nathan Jones, but Nathan Jones was, I guess, they felt that Nathan Jones was not ready for a WrestleMania match, so they pulled him out of it and made it a handicap match. Taker wins at the Tombstone, but this isn't good. It's a half-star match. One of Taker's worst streak matches. So then we get 1 of 2 triple threat matches on this card. A triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship. Victoria versus Jazz versus Trish Stratus. Again, an okay match. Trish wins, 1.5 stars. Not a bad match, but certainly wasn't good by any stretch of the imagination. So, 1.5 stars, though. So then we get the second triple threat match. This one for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin versus Chris Benoit and Rhyno versus Los Guerreros. 2 stars here. This is not a really good match, but it's a good, solid 2-star match. Haas and Benjamin win after Rhyno gores Chavo Guerrero, and then Benjamin picks the bones and scores the pin. So, like I said, an okay match, nothing special though. So then we get to the 5 matches that really make this a good Mania. Starting with Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho. This is a really, really good match. It's 5 stars. I think this is one of the top 15 or 20 WrestleMania matches in history of WrestleMania. It's a 5-star match, even if the wrong guy won, which he did in Shawn Michaels. Some people say, well, in hindsight, Jericho left in 2005. Well, that's true, but let's be honest about this. Why would that doesn't even mean you justify Michaels winning. A win over Michaels at Mania would have helped Jericho far more than anything else. Kind of like what happened in 2005 with Kurt Angle when he beat Michaels at WrestleMania, with Michaels winning the rematch at a lesser pay-per-view. You could have done the same thing here. I get why people say that, but now, even though Michaels did win, this is still a 5-star match anyway, even if the wrong guy won, but it's still a 5-star match, and it is the best match on this card. Not by much, because the 4 matches that preceded are also very good, but there's something that makes them not quite 5-star, or they're just not quite 5-star. This one is, even if the wrong guy won. There was this segment of the Miller Light Catfight Girls, Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler, that actually bumped the World Tag Title match off WrestleMania. I'm not talking about that, so that's not a match, so it's not going to be included in here. So then we get the World Heavyweight Championship match, Triple H versus Booker T. Very good match, but a very bad finish. This is a very good match, but here's the finish. Triple H is the pedigree, pins and it takes him about 30 or 40 seconds roughly to pin Booker T, and he only drapes one arm over him and he wins the match that way. that's the problem that I have with this match that puts it out of the 5-star category in a way, because I think that finish really kind of buries Booker T. Because this is the closest Booker T ever got again to having a World Championship match at WrestleMania. This is his only World Championship match he's ever had at WrestleMania. And they essentially, I guess, buried him with that finish, if that makes sense to people who've seen this match. It's the one thing that keeps it from being 4.5 stars. There's so many times in 2003 that Triple H should have lost the championship and just didn't. SummerSlam 03 is one of those cases. I'm not going to make the case he should have lost it to Kevin Nash during their feud. Oh, no, I'm not going to make that case. But this is one of the cases I will make he probably should have lost the championship, even for a day. Even for a day. Because, think about it. Booker T could always say even if you did that and it was even for a day, at least Booker T could say he won a world title at WrestleMania. Which is really the place to win a world championship at in a lot of ways. So, there's that. And, okay. So then we have our next match, which I'm going to argue, the next 3 matches, I'm going to argue any one of the 3 could have been the main event. And let's start with the street fight, Hulk Hogan versus Mr. McMahon, which is a 4-star street fight. Because the story's there, every aspect of the story is there. There's Roddy Piper shows up, which gives a story element dating all the way back to the first WrestleMania. And quite frankly, the 96 Starrcade in a way. But I would have had Piper hit both guys, hit Vince and Hogan. Instead of just Hogan, I would have had him hit Vince too. Hogan wins with 3 leg drops. Vince has very good psychology in this match, especially after he finds the lead pipe and look on his bloody face when he comes up. That's really, really cool. When Vince wrestled, he at least knew the psychology aspect of the business, in a way. But here's why I'm going to argue this match being the main event. This is arguably the match that this show is built around. This is the match that this show is the most built around. It had most of the TV time on SmackDown was devoted to building this match up at that time. That's part of it. This match is also on the DVD cover. In fact, it's the sole front of the DVD cover. So you could probably argue that this match should have main evented WrestleMania. Both WrestleManias Hogan was at after he came back, I think he should have main evented. He definitely should have main evented 18 with Rock. And like I said, you can justify not main eventing him and McMahon, but you can also justify having it main event too, depending on how you look at it. Next match. Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. What is Stone Cold's final match? 4.5 stars this match. And that's just because I don't think this is as good as their match at 15, even though that wasn't a 5-star match. Its thing is it's the best match on a very bad show. Their match at 17 is not the best match on 17. That's the TLC match, and it would have been 5 stars and not been for the finish. So, to me, this is their best WrestleMania match, as it's the one that primarily sticks in the ring for the entire match, that doesn't go outside and do a lot of stuff. It's primarily a wrestling match through and through, without a lot of other stuff thrown in. But it's a 4.5-star match. It takes 3 rock bottoms to beat Austin. And I think back to 29, where Cena kicked out of 3 of them, and I'm like, that's why people sometimes don't like John Cena, is because of that kind of stuff. Because but that's for an entirely different situation. But like I said, this was Austin's last match, so you could justify this match main eventing too, as the other 2 matches Rock and Austin did main event. So you could argue that all 3 of their matches, if this main evented, you could argue they're the only 2 people to main event 3 WrestleManias with each other. So you could justify this match being the main event, just for the fact that really this is Austin's last match, and it would be Rock's last match for, you know, and it came very close to being Rock's final match until 2004, and then 2011, and then 28 and 29 at Mania. So you could argue that since this was the last time that Austin and Rock were going to be having a match, that it should also have main evented this show. There's the argument for that. And that brings us to the WWE Championship match. Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar. 4.5 stars, and it's that way because of the shooting star press botch that Brock Lesnar did. That's honestly the main memorable part of this match, is that Brock Lesnar gave himself a concussion and nearly broke his neck doing a shooting star press that he did from very far away. He didn't necessarily botch the move, it's the fact that he didn't drag him enough to actually hit the move, so in that case it's a botch. Because Lesnar could do the shooting star press. He did it in OVW quite a lot, but he never had to go across the ring to do it. So, and that's what he had to do here. And it hurts because after he gets the F5, he puts the arm over, gets the 1, 2, 3. So, honestly here, you know, they had this match main event, and I guess I can see why. Lesnar was the Royal Rumble winner, and a lot of the time was stated would be in the main event of WrestleMania. Now they just say a title shot, that way they can have the Rumble winner not main event WrestleMania. And by the way, for people complaining about Roman Reigns main eventing WrestleMania already, look, I'm not that huge of a fan of it either. But Brock Lesnar, this is his first WrestleMania and he's in the main event. At least if Reigns, it's not his first he's main eventing. At least if Reigns. And like I said, I'm not even a big fan of Reigns main eventing anyway at WrestleMania right now, just because of how his single career is gone. But I live with it. I live with it, and I'm going to. Because honestly, I don't even think with Brock Lesnar, I don't even think if you put Daniel Bryan in there, you'd get a good match, because it takes 2 people to make a good match. Even if you were to put Bryan in there and Lesnar decides to phone in and not do anything, that still means the match is going to be bad. That still means the match would be bad, even with Daniel Bryan involved in it. And I like Daniel Bryan too, and what they're doing with him with the IC title stuff is stupid, and I'm not going to deny it's not, but this is Lesnar's first WrestleMania, and he main evented it. Okay? So, it's not like Reigns' first WrestleMania main event is his first WrestleMania altogether. And, you know, like I said, I've always said that this match of Reigns at Mania, it should be him and Cena. You know, because they want a passing of the torch thing. Well, Cena's the better one to do that with. That's why it should be him, Reigns, and Cena for the championship, and not Lesnar and Reigns. So, and if you look what happened where Brock would be at next year's WrestleMania, since he'd be on his way out the door in the middle of a 6-year, $6 million contract, it makes you even wonder why they even tried to push this guy. At least presumably with Reigns, they figure he's not going to pull something like Brock Lesnar and be around for a while, so you can kind of understand why they're doing what they're doing with Reigns in that case. But, like I said, it's something I don't agree with, and I can see why they're doing it, but I don't necessarily agree that he's all the way ready, because he's not. And that's the small, mini thing about the current state of WWE, because I don't do Raw reviews anymore, because sometimes I don't even finish Raw. I did Monday, but I'm not going to review it. But anyway, the next review, so our total star rating is 20 out of 45. It's 20 out of 45. And most of it comes from those top 5 matches. Most of it comes from the last 5 matches on this card. In fact, that's where the majority of the star rating comes from. So the next WrestleMania is WrestleMania 20, a WrestleMania that ends in a moment that, quite frankly, is forgotten. And I'll get to that when I review WrestleMania 20 tomorrow. So if you like the video, like button is down there, subscribe button is down there. This will be in the WrestleMania Review Series playlist, and thank you for watching. Bye.